How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. My name is Naya. I'll be taking care and administering this session today. It'll be about 10, probably 15 minutes of your time. But before we get started, I just want to let you know about our confidentiality statement. Anything that you say in this session between us will stay between us, unless you're going to inflict harm on others or you're going to inflict harm on yourself or do any abuse to any kids. Stuff like that. Is that all right with you, Mr.? All right. And what's your name, Mr.?
My name's Stuart, but you can just call me Stewie to make this process easier.
All right, Mr. Stewie, and do you mind before we start the session, if you're going, we're going to talk, do you mind if I take notes?
Absolutely.
All right. So, Mr. Stewie, what brings you in today?
My relationship has gone from where I believe was active and healthy to now detrimental and possibly dangerous to my health.
All right, and what do you mean by dangerous to your health?
I've gotten in a few arguments where they have been very abusive and there have been some threats that I believe to be are very true.
All right. And did you communicate these threats to your significant other, or were these threats and abusiveness, inflicted on you?
They were more directed at me. I saw some certain receipts for weapons. I overheard some phone calls. I've woken up to being hit in my sleep.
All right. And Mr. Stewie, are you in any way, shape, form, or fashion feel as though you're scared, or are you on defense mode every time you walk in the house with your significant other?
I'd like to say that I would be in defense mode. I'm just aware of the possible things that can happen.
All right. And then, Mr. Stewie, what led up to this? What led up to this abusiveness, mentally, physically, and emotionally?
She had put a tracker on my car, so she found out I was seeing someone else.
All right. And this tracker, how did you find the tracker?
I actually had never found the physical spot in the car where the tracker was placed. I just know that during the argument, when I denied being where I was, she had pulled up the navigational proof.
And at that time, what did you feel?
Scared.
You were scared. Mr. Stewie, what was your, I want to know what your expressions was like. What did you feel? Like, how was you feeling? Like, was you feeling unease, or was you feeling guilty about seeing someone else? And does this someone else know about your significant other?
There was a little bit of guilt, but that quickly turned to concern when I had seen that her reaction was violent.
Yeah. And I would like to ask a question. So before you got together, were you and your significant other, were you at a point where did you see signs of
all that
yes.
catastrophe?
Yes.
It was at one point, a real high and a real low relationship. So when things are really, really good, they're really good. And when they're bad, they're really bad. I didn't think that it would get to the point where I would have to get anybody involved, but I think that might be the best way to go about this.
And so you came to me today to seek kind of help.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Mr. Stewie, how do you feel about you and your significant other coming in together for a session? Do you feel as though you can't be in the same room with her, or do you, want to do this session opposite? You'll do like 5 minutes and she'll do 5 minutes, or do 10 minutes and like that? How do you want to do that?
We might just be better off to do it together. If it was separate, then we could do it separate.
All right. And Mr. Stewie, do you feel as though, you need to some time apart away from your significant other? Do you feel as though if she has time apart from you, she feels like, you're out there doing something, even though you're trying to, it seems to me like you're trying to get your life on track because you are stepping in the right direction. But do you feel as though if she's away from you, she's kind of going back towards that spot in her life,
Absolutely.
place in her life?
Absolutely. When I leave work, I actually bring a clock out of when I leave work, so she'll know when I leave my place of employment. If there's any gap in that can't be accounted for, I know exactly what I'm dealing with.
All right. And Mr. Stewie, where do you work at, if you don't mind me asking?
Warner. It's basically an electric company, and we route and install different networks.
Do you like that activity?
No, but I enjoy the structural benefits.
That's good. That's good. And your significant other, does she work as well? You said
No.
No, she doesn't.
She chooses to spend her time with the Lord. She's a very religious woman. And she takes her time to spend with her family, and she does go to church a lot. I will say that about her.
And do you attend church with her?
I do not.
And Mr. Stewie, if you don't mind me asking, how is the physicalness, besides the abusiveness, how's the physicalness in the relationship? Is there a lot of PDI or PA?
With it being as toxic as it is, I assume you're speaking sexually.
No, not sexually, but like when y'all are out together in public.
Very hands-on.
Is it masking the?
We're big on PDA. So I'm very attracted to that female. No matter how I feel about what's going on with us at the time, I will take some time and go ahead and appreciate her no matter who's around.
And does this abusiveness happen out in the public?
There have been a couple of incidents where the police have been called.
And when the police were called, how did the situation be, did it build up or did it die down or?
She had made it escalate very fast in a small environment, so when the police came, she had fled. I told them that it was an accident, there were a couple broken things. I just ended up paying for it and leaving.
And I sense that you feel a little, unease when you speak about your stick together. So let's try this. Let's try putting her in a positive light.
Okay.
I know you came here to discuss the situation about your abusiveness in your relationship, but I just want you to try to put her in a positive light, and let's paint this picture of her how you saw her when you first encountered her. So, whenever you're ready.
I knew that she was a complete mess and that things could go horribly wrong. I just didn't know that they would take a turn for the worse that fast, and that I wouldn't be able to actually control the consequences and everything happening at once. So in the midst of trying to stop the fury, I was actually realizing it was coming down on me and destroying me. Looking at her in a positive light, I'd probably have to look at her from somebody else's point of view because I actually know her. It's very dim, very dark. Like I said, the only decent thing that I can find to say about that human is that she is in touch with the Lord. Other than that, I believe that maybe she can't be saved in that sense. Maybe that I do need to go ahead and find closure with myself and get away from that situation altogether.
Now, if you do find closure and getting yourself out of the situation, how do you think that would make her feel?
I believe she'd be relieved.
Are you sure?
I'm not positive.
You're not positive. Do you feel as though your life would be in danger if you do end up leaving?
Yes.
And you do find someone else that's less abusive?
Yeah, I believe I'd have to do that from a different state, different location. I believe that it would be an easy part.
And then, Mr. Stewie, so how was your day-to-day with her? Before you came in here? Just tell me about your day, what you did this morning, go about your daily routine. How was your day?
She was sleeping, so I had rolled out of bed, and I didn't use the shower in our room because I didn't want to wake her up, so I went over to the neighbor's house, got ready, and left.
And does your neighbors mind you using your shower?
They're used to me going over there unexpectedly.
And how do your friends, your family, her family, feel about have you told anybody else about your situation?
Her family is concerned because she's done this in the past. And my family isn't aware of it. actually out fishing, and she had made us lunches. We broke them out about 12 o'clock. This was less than 2 weeks ago. She must have sprinkled something on them because we all had the same thing in our system. 4 hours later, our cars got towed. So they actually inflicted this on a group of my friends, whether it was to be funny or not.
And how do your friends feel about this?
They knew she was angry about us going fishing. They just didn't think that she was going to take those precautions to go ahead and make sure that we had known how angry she was.
Alright. Now, Mr. Stewie, it is, from what I'm gathering, so what I hear you saying is that you're very concerned about your relationship. You're trying to leave your relationship. You feel unsafe, but you still have strong feelings for your significant other. She has strong feelings for you, but you just want to find closure within yourself, within the relationship that you established. Now, how is your relationship with female friends? Does she care about you having female friends? Not on a sexual basis, but, you know, just having female friends around. Does she care about that, or?
She'll express that she doesn't care, but I feel like she does. She gets very jealous of my sister and my mother, so I try not to talk to them around her.
So it is one of those relationships where you can have you can only have one female friend, either to choose to your mother or your sister.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about it?
Very concerned, yeah. Very uneasy.
Alright. Well, Mr. Stewie, from what I hear you saying, again, I'm going to sum up this session. What I hear you saying is you feel very unsafe in your relationship, and you want to find closure. And you can't find closure because you're not afraid, but you just feel uneased about how she would feel about you finding closure and, you know, leaving the relationship. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a follow-up with both of you in the room. Either we can do it separately, or like you said, we can do it together. And I'm going to explain the confidentiality clause to her as well. However, if she does have this behavior, exemplify this behavior in the session, I'm going to have to step outside of the agency and, you know, contact some people and go from there. I'm going to schedule an intervention counseling, and we're going to go from there. Is that all right with you, Mr. Stewart? All right. Well, Mr. Stewart, that concludes our session today. Like I said, I'm going to schedule that follow-up. It's about 3:30, 2 weeks from now on Thursday. Is that all right with you? All right. Is she going to be available as well?
She's going to.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, Mr. Stewart, it's a pleasure meeting you, and you have a great day.
All right, have a great day now.
Thank you.